woke to a silence I didn't recognize, the kind that seeps through the eyes. The sun was shining, but it felt too bright, like it was burning what I used to hide. I traced the lines of all the giving, all the chances I had tried, and somewhere deep I felt the weight the day my heart got tired. I thought I'd keep on holding, but the fire in me waned. Every step felt heavier, every love I gave in vain. The day my heart got tired, I let the pieces fall apart. All the bridges I had built collapsed inside my chest and heart. The day my heart got tired, I learned the limits of my hands, and all the fights I couldn't win became what I could understand. I watched the world keep moving while I struggled just to stand. Every smile that touched my lips felt borrowed, felt unplanned. I carried a weight I didn't choose and kept pretending it was light, till I realized the fight I'd fought had stolen all my side. I couldn't carry every sorrow, I couldn't fix every flaw, and the quiet told the story that I'd been ignoring all. The day my heart got tired, I let the pieces fall apart. All the bridges I had built collapsed inside my chest and heart. The day my heart got tired, I learned the limits of my hands, and all the fights I couldn't win became what I could understand. Oh, maybe hearts are not for holding all the weight we think is ours. Maybe strength is in the letting go when the battles leave their scars. And even in the breaking, there's a wisdom to admire. I finally saw it clearly the day my heart got tired. Tired, learning, tired, but alive. The day my heart got tired, all the bridges I had built collapsed inside my chest and heart. The day my heart got tired, I learned the limits of my hands, and all the fights I couldn't win became what I could understand. The day my heart got tired, I finally let it breathe. The day my heart got tired, I learned to set it free. We held the sky in our own hands, believing it would never fall. Every word was a promise, every touch was meant to call. But love has a way of shifting quietly without a sign, and And I woke up to the silence after love changed its mind. I searched for all the reasons for the cracks I couldn't see, but the heart moves in directions that the eyes can't always read. After love changed its mind, the colors faded from the day. After love changed its mind, the words we meant to say slipped away like water through fingers too late to hold. After love changed its mind, leaving warmth turned cold. I kept replaying the moments where the laughter used to live. Every glance a quiet question, every hug a gift to give. But the clock kept ticking forward, and the world refused to bend, leaving me in the echoes after love reached its end. I thought I knew forever, but forever learned to sway. And the heart I thought unbroken found another quiet way. After love changed its mind, the colors faded from the day. After love changed its mind, the words we meant to say slipped away like water through fingers too late to hold. After love changed its mind, and maybe love is not a promise, maybe love is just a chance. Maybe hearts are lessons that we feel before the dance. And even in the leaving, there's a story left behind, quiet kind of wisdom after love changed its mind. I'm learning how to leave it kind. After love changed its mind, I carry pieces of the day. After love changed its mind, I remember what felt right. Though it slipped like water through hands that tried to hold. After love changed its mind, a new story can unfold. And even when it's over, I'll keep the lesson signed, because something stays with us after love changed its mind. You walk fast through every chapter, never checking what you left. You kept turning toward the future, like the past was just a theft. I stayed quiet in the margins, picking pieces from the floor. Every story you abandoned made me gather up some more. You never asked who kept the weight, or who held on past the break. I carried what you dropped, all the fears you never named, all the hopes you let unravel, all the guilt you never claimed. I carried what you dropped, long before I understood that holding what was never mine was the thing that broke me good. You were quick to leave a sentence, half rewritten, half erased. You said endings didn't matter if the middle lost its pace. So I learned to stitch the pages with a patience you ignored, binding chapters you abandoned into books you never stored. You kept running from the echoes while I held them like a cord. I carried what you dropped, all the fears you never named, all the hopes you let unravel, all the guilt you never claimed. I carried what you dropped, long before I understood that holding what was never mine was the thing that broke me good. I was the one who kept the fragments, even when they cut me through. Sometimes love becomes a duty when you're scared to lose what's true. But the weight that doesn't fit you only pulls your spine apart, and the things we pick up out of love can still hollow out the heart. You never turned to notice, and I never set it down. I carried what you dropped till it finally felt like mine, till my hands were full of burdens that you left without a sign. I carried what you dropped, but I'm learning how to choose, and I'm laying down the pieces now that were never mine to lose. If love was meant for sharing, not afraid we all alone, then I'm done with carrying quietly what you dropped without a home. You said the world was getting heavy, but you never named the weight. You kept folding up your feelings like a map you never trace. I thought the quiet was just quiet, not the start of something sharp. I didn't know you'd been drifting half a mile beyond my heart. And every little sigh was a step beyond my sight. I didn't see you leaving, you didn't turn around. There was no slam door echo, no suitcase on the ground. I didn't see you leaving till the distance had a shape, till the space between our breathing grew too wide for me to chase. Oh, oh. We kept talking without speaking, we kept holding without hope. I kept hoping you were tired, not already growing cold. You were learning how to vanish in a way that left no trace. You were softening your presence till it slipped from out of place. I didn't read the warnings written quiet on your face. I didn't see you leaving, you didn't turn around. There was no slam door echo, no suitcase on the ground. I didn't see you leaving till the distance had a shape, till the space between our breathing grew too wide for me to chase. Maybe heartbreak isn't sudden, maybe endings take their time, maybe love begins its exit long before the final line. And we think we're still together just because we're side by side, but the miles start collecting in the silence we can't hide. I thought you'd say goodbye, but you left without a sound. I didn't see you leaving till the future stood alone, till the plans we never mentioned started turning into stone. I didn't see you leaving, but the truth was always there, slipping out between the moments while I thought love filled the air. You were gone before the ending, I just didn't know to stare. I walked the line between the shadows and the light I couldn't see. Every glance, every silence passed unnoticed next to me. I thought I knew the moment, thought I'd recognize the time, but the truth slipped past my fingers like a rhythm out of rhyme. I kept believing I could read the hints that came my way, but every gesture, every whisper slipped quietly away. I missed the signs again while they were waving in plain view. I missed the way the world was changing while I was staring at the blue. I missed the signs again, and now the moment's gone. I'll keep chasing all the echoes of what I should have drawn. You try to leave me breadcrumbs through the laughter and the pain. I ignored the subtle warnings, thinking everything remained. Every word you almost said, every look I couldn't meet was a map I couldn't beat. I wanted so much clarity, but I was deaf to the refrain, and the chances slipped like water through the cracks of all my veins. I missed the signs again while they were waving in plain view. I missed the way the world was changing while I was staring at the blue. I missed the signs again, and now the moment's gone. I'll keep chasing all the echoes of what I should have drawn. Maybe life is full of signals, too quiet for the ear. Maybe some of love is learning after the loss is clear. I remember all the footprints I failed to follow them, and hope that next time I won't miss the signs again. Miss the signs, but I'll keep watching next time. I miss the signs again while they were waving in plain view. I miss the way the world was changing while I was staring at the blue. I miss the signs again, but I'm learning what to see. And the next time they are calling, I'll be ready to believe. I miss the signs again, but I won't miss them next time. I watched the days slip through our fingers like grains of sand we couldn't hold. All the words we left unspoken, all the stories never told. The moments that seemed insignificant seemed to vanish in the wind. But I kept a quiet memory of the smallest pieces pinned. Even when the world forgot them, even when they fell apart, I held the fragments in my pocket and carried them in my heart. I saved the smallest pieces of the love we couldn't keep. Every laugh, every whisper, every secret we buried deep. I saved the smallest pieces, even when the rest was gone. Every shadow, every echo kept me holding on. I traced the lines of tiny kindness in the corners of your hands. Every smile you gave in silence, every gesture I could understand. The world can break the grandest moments, but the little things remain, and I'll keep them tucked inside me through the quiet and the pain. Even if the fire faded, even if the light grew thin, the smallest pieces mattered. They were where our love had been. I saved the smallest pieces of the love we couldn't keep. Every laugh, every whisper, every secret we buried deep. I saved the smallest pieces, even when the rest was gone. the smallest pieces are where love hides. I saved the smallest pieces of the love we couldn't keep. Every laugh, every whisper, every secret we buried deep. I saved the smallest pieces, even when the rest was gone. Every shadow, every echo kept me holding on. I saved the smallest pieces, and they're enough to carry on. I saved the smallest pieces, and in them you're never gone. The sunlight hit the empty corner where your shadow used to lie. I traced the lines of every memory, hoping time would pass us by. I held the pieces you left scattered, tried to fit them in my hands. Every word you never said, I tried to understand. But the clock kept moving forward while I froze inside the past. I tried to make it last, even when the edges fried, even when the colors faded and the music slipped away. I tried to make it last, every heartbeat, every glance, every little moment where we almost had a chance. I whispered to the quiet corners, hoping someone would reply. I reached for hope in empty spaces where your promises went by. Every laugh that felt like forever turned fragile like glass, and I kept holding on. I tried to make it last, and every night I felt the distance grow wider than before. I tried to make it last, even when the edges fried, even when the colors faded and the music slipped away. I tried to make it last, every heartbeat, every glance, every little moment where we almost had a chance. And maybe love can't be stubborn, maybe it can't defy the currents that are stronger than the will to even try. But I'll remember how I fought it, and the nights I didn't pass. 'Cause even if we couldn't save it, I tried to make it last. I held on, I held on, even when you let go. I tried to make it last, when the edges my best. I tried to make it last. I kept my hands inside my pockets while the world was burning bright. I watched the chances pass like shadows, and I whispered them goodbye. I told myself tomorrow would be better than today. But the courage I was needing kept slipping far away. I wanted to step forward, but my feet refused to move. Every heartbeat felt uncertain, every risk I couldn't prove. I was almost brave, almost stood where I should fall, almost said the words I needed, almost answered every call. I was almost brave, but the fear kept holding sway. I dreamed of running fearless, but I was almost brave that day. I saw the ones who tried it boldly, facing storms I couldn't face. I cheered them on from quiet corners, afraid to take my place. I built a castle from excuses and walls of hesitation. Every step that I imagined felt like a resignation. I wanted to take the chances, but the weight was on my chest, and the moments kept on passing while I stayed within my nest. I was almost brave, almost stood where I should fall, almost said the words I needed, almost answered every call. I was almost brave, but the fear kept holding sway. and maybe that's enough today. We never learned the right language to speak what we meant to say. We filled the spaces with anger and let the rest decay. Every step we took was fragile, like glass beneath our feet. We kept moving out of habit, not knowing how to meet. And every time the silence grew, I thought you'd hear me through. I was still on your side, even when the storms rolled in, even when the doubts grew loud and the distance settled in. I was still on your side when the fault lines cracked the floor. I held the pieces in my hands while you reached for the door. You said that love was fading, but you never checked the light. You turned away from flicker before it had a chance to fight. We mistook fear for final, we mistook quiet for gone. And in the ache of the unraveling, we forgot what kept us strong. But even when the night was long, my loyalty stayed strong. I was still on your side, even when the storms rolled in, even when the doubts grew loud and the distance settled in. I was still on your side when the fault lines cracked the floor. I held the pieces in my hands while you reached for the door. Maybe someday you'll remember the things you didn't see, how I kept the flame from dying while it burned inside of me. No one wins by walking faster, no one heals by running blind. Sometimes love is quiet labor, done with no applause in mind. We didn't need to be the hero, just the one who stayed behind. I was still on your side when the questions turned to blame, when the future felt uncertain and the past forgot our name. I was still on your side long after you let go, but you never turned to look, so you never got to know. If love is measured after losing, then mine was never denied. Because even in the ending, I was still on your side. I saw you standing in the hallway, the light behind you fading slow. Every heartbeat felt like seconds, every step a final echo. didn't turn, you didn't speak. Your eyes already halfway gone, and I kept holding on to fragments of a day that moved too long. I wanted one more moment, one last chance to make you stay. Just before the door closed, I reached for you were gone. The words I never said fell behind where we belong. Just before the door closed, I saw the world rearrange, and all the dreams we carried were swallowed by the change. The hallway stretched like forever, with shadows